This video is brought to you by Hobby Lobby. We are going to dive right into the Valentine's crafts today. We're not only going to make one project, but we're going to make three. We're going to make a really pretty, simple wreath, a door hanger, and a little ornament that would be perfect to do with kids. So, if you're loving Valentine's like I am, you need to go to Hobby Lobby, go down their Valentine's aisle, and see all the amazing products they have to offer. So, let's get started. Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. I am so excited to do this project today. We're actually going to make more than one project. So we're going to get started on this one. I don't want to overwhelm you with too many supplies on my table here, but I went all directions on this project with Hobby Lobby. I was like, okay, do I go a more romantic route? Do I go a more traditional Valentine's route? Do I do something kind of different? And I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything today. So we're going to get started right away. These are going to be very simple projects that anybody can do. And we're going to get started by painting. We're going to use one of these heart beaded wreaths, and they are regularly $9.99. I purchased this when it was 40% off, and you will get a discount on that too. Then I grabbed some of this his and hers ribbon because it had like this really pretty beige color, and I kind of like the whole thing that we were going with. Now these flowers actually came out of the his and hers wedding aisle. Again, go to all the aisles. There is something for everyone in every aisle. So never limit yourself to one section at Hobby Lobby. Go to them all because you're going to find some really cool stuff. And I just love this little heart plaque. And so basically what we're going to do, the first step, we're going to paint this. So I'm going to use this Americana Deco Art color. This is, I want to say, I don't see a color on it, but I will have this link down below for you. But it's kind of like a mauve. Oh, there it is. Blush pink, Julie. And I think this is going to go perfectly with our little bouquet. The bouquet makes it all so simple. So let's get a brush out and start painting this. Okay, our first step is we are going to get rid of this little jute piece here. We don't need it, but always save it because we might need it for one of our other projects. And if you don't want to, if you don't have some on hand, it's always good to keep this so that you can have it to hang it. Okay, why are we being difficult? There we go. But all you're going to do is take whatever side you think is better. I think I'm going to use this side. I'm going to take my brush here and I'm just going to open this up. Okay, so we're just going to take our paint. I got a little bag. I should have a plate down here, but I don't, but that's okay. And we're just going to squirt it. I like that color. I think that's so pretty. And we are just going to, we're not going to focus on like getting this whole thing like completely covered unless that's the look that you're going for. But I'm just going to start brushing it on. And if you wanted to do several colors, you could do that too. I don't want to put too much paint on my... Okay, so the next step is going to be adding this little wooden plaque that we just painted, and it turned out so pretty. As you can see, I think that's perfect. And really, you can put this wherever you want. I'm going to kind of put it at an angle because we're going to like kind of glue this to our frame here. And so I wanted to kind of hit, I wanted to hit this point and I wanted to hit this point so I can add some glue underneath the frame. And then we're going to take our flowers and we're going to go up the side here. So you're going to take your hot glue gun, and I always recommend the Surebonder. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. My favorite is the one that's cordless, but they have all kinds of these glue guns at Hobby Lobby and at a great price too. So I'm going to just kind of move this around, and I might just like play with it a little bit. Just get it to where you want. You could even kind of have it like that. Let's do it like that. And basically I'm going to take my glue gun. Isn't that handy? I love it. And I'm going to start adding little dots of glue throughout here. And then we're going to let that all set up, okay? We're not going to move it. We're going to let it set up. Like I just moved that one. I don't want to let that move, so let it set up. Then I'm going to glue here and I'm going to glue here. And then we're going to give it a few minutes. Make sure it's sturdy before we go to the next step. Okay, so the next step is to take this apart. I'm just simply going to take off the ribbon here And then we're going to kind of like tear it apart. I think they're connected, so let's just look real quick. So one of the things that I love about my new studio is that I have the ability to raise up and put down my table so that I can see my projects so much better. So I took this apart, and then I'm just kind of cutting off the excess because we really don't need it that long. So we're just going to kind of cut them down because that's about 12 inches and we just don't need that. So we're going to just cut it down. Okay, so as you can see, you're just going to start taking and layering it on your form the way that you want it to go. So like I like these little green leaves going this way. I'm going to kind of like mold it a little bit to get it to go the direction I want. Then we have another one that I'm going to go the opposite direction so that we have, we're kind of going both directions here. So I'm going to start by getting a zip tie. And I'm just going to add these. Again, if you want to use wire, pipe cleaners, all of that will work. But we're going to just get this started. All right. You could also add a little bit of glue here and there. And as I start to layer, then we'll put a zip tie and make it a little bit easier. Like some of these, I might turn around a little bit. So let's put another zip tie. And that's pretty much all you're going to do. Okay, so that one's good. And once you put that zip tie in it, you can pull on it and make it looser. You may make it longer, really, make the stems longer or shorter. So let's do this one. And actually, that looks like we can separate these. So I'm going to separate them like so and have one go this way. Put another zip tie. So normally you would see me using the foam, but we're not using the foam this time. We're going to just do this. And I think this is a really easy solution. Once we get it on, we can direct our flowers to go every which way if we want. Now we have all these flowers. So we're going to take the bigger flowers first. And I'm going to just kind of like see how I bend them to kind of give them a little bit more dimension. All right, these got a little smushed in my bag. It's all right. We're going to still make this just as beautiful. I'm just going to add that there and put a zip tie. I love being able to stand up and see this because what I want is I want these to kind of come down and I want them to come like this. I'm going to like bend it. Just gives it a little bit of dimension to it. So I'm going to take my zip tie. And then we're just going to cut off the excess. So just make sure you have them all together there. And then we'll just move them around and cut off what we don't need there. I love it. I love those colors. And I think this little mauvish purple heart here is going to really make this pop. So like I have a long piece here, so we're going to get rid of that. And then what I might do is actually glue these in. I'm going to take these apart. Just find a spot. By now we've already like built up. I'm going to take actually this big one here. I'm going to put it underneath here because we've built up a section where that glue will hold. All right. Whereas before we didn't. So I'm going to take a bigger one here and just put her right there. Okay, so when there's a problem, I'm going to let you know. And there was a problem. When I brought this up, everything wanted to turn here because they're beads and they're on a wire frame, which makes sense, right? So what I'm going to tell you to do is take some wire. We're going to take some of this wire that we're going to use for another project here. And I'm going to just I'm going to clip off about 18 inches. I'm now going to connect it through this heart. You're not going to see this, okay? And now I'm going to go underneath here. I'm going to weave it through, all right? And then I'm going to weave it through some of the stems here too. You could probably do this, the same thing with a zip tie, but this way it will stay put. See, now that's going to stay put. And then we can kind of do our thing. Do you see? All right. So now what are we going to do with this ribbon? It's really pretty. Okay, so we have this really pretty ribbon that I got from the his and hers section. It has no wire, but I kind of like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just say, let's start off with a 10-inch tail, okay? I'm just going to gather it like so. And then I'm going to measure another 6 inches and I'm going to gather it. And we're going to keep this bow pretty simple because it has no wire in it, so we can't do really big floppy bow loops. All right, so get another 6 inches here. All right, and then you're just going to come back to the middle. All right, that's all you're going to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of those zip ties. All right, and you're just going to go around it, or a pipe cleaner, or let's say some wire, whatever you want to use, okay? And I'm going to just put that around it. I'm going to cut off the tail. Have a little bit of stuff on my table I need to cut off or get off. So let me grab that off of my stems here, or my tails. All right. And then I'm going to take another piece here. I know it looks a little raggedy, but that's okay. All right. And then I'm just going to like go and just fold it over all the way. All right, so we do that. Then we're going to go over it like so, so we can make a really pretty little bow. Let me cut off the zip tie first. That might be really helpful. Let's take a little bit of this wire. You might want to get the wire ready before you make the bow. It's all right. All right, so I'm going to just kind of look at it. And I'm simply going to just tie a knot on here. But we're going to use some glue here too. All right, pull that really good. Take your really good wire. I got this wire from the jewelry department at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. Let it set up and then we'll come right back. So, okay, so once that dries, you're going to take your bow and I'm going to take the two little ends of my wire and I'm going to go through this part right here. You can put it up higher if you want, but I'm just going to twist it. I cut my pieces here. So what I would recommend is you take a lighter after you cut this kind of ribbon and then just light the edges ever so much. So you just want to use a lighter and then seal the edges of this ribbon. All right, and I think that's so pretty. So that is project number 1. So since we put a bow there, you could put a zip tie at the top to make sure that stays the way that you want it to. But that's project number 1. This is probably the hardest one we did or are going to do today. So let's get on to the next one. Okay, so here is project number 2, and this one's going to be a really easy one. With the exception when we put the beads on, you might find that a little challenging, but we're going to do the best we can here. So I like this little really like pretty little heart plaque. It is just a heart and it's the size of a 14 by 14, which is awesome. Has a nice little hook here so that you can hang it on your wall if that's what you want to do, which is great. So all we're going to do is we're going to pick out colors because I saw this. This was probably my most exciting piece at Hobby Lobby for their Valentine's decor. I seriously saw this. They have red ones too. So if you want to do it this kind of mauvish peachy color, or you want to do the red color, you could do that. You know me, you know I'm drawn to this color. So we're going to go here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint our slats. I'm not going to worry about the insides here because you're not, when you put this over it, you're not really going to see it. But I'm kind of debating on these colors. So let's just see what looks better and we'll make a decision. So we got this color right there. And then we've got this color. I know, this one's a little lighter. That has a little bit more gray in it. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards this. And then this looks like it's a white, but it's not a white. So let's just let's try this one first, because that's the one I'm kind of drawn to. All right, and let's just do this. Ooh, that's pretty. So basically what you could do is you could do each of these different colors if you want. I think I'm going to keep mine all one color, but it's really up to you. Have fun with it and then paint it the color you want. I think we're going to keep it, yeah, we're going to keep it that color. I like that color. And that color is the folk art and it's called Seashell Pink. Okay, so while this is drying, we're gonna just kind of set it to the side, but we're gonna need to use it to measure our wire. We're gonna use these beads to put on this board, but we're gonna do it and use this, I believe it's 16 gauge wire from the jewelry department. And this is a good thing to have, just because you can shape it in any direction. It's going to hold its form, and it's just going to help us make this project a little bit easier. Now, about a month or so ago, I was at Hobby Lobby, and I was in the back. This was in the jewelry section, and these caught my eyes. Would you look at the pretty colors? And so I have already bought this box, and then I bought another one today. But are those not beautiful? I see a lot of different things that you could do with this, whether it's jewelry making or adding it into some arts and crafts that you're doing. I just love having these on hand. So I'm really glad I got these. And they even have a box of different size wooden beads too. So I love that, Hobby Lobby. Awesome. So the thing is, as I'm looking at this, when I look here, do I want to use these kind of orangey, like rust colors? And I do think that it kind of goes with our centerpiece, but I kind of feel like it doesn't quite sing Valentine's Day to me. So I'm going to leave these out, and I'm only going to focus on, we've got the pink, kind of a mauvish, a peach, a white, and a gold. So I think those are more of a Valentine's feel for me. So I'm going to focus on those. So we probably will need to get into the second box, but that's okay. All right, if you want to use the kind of rust color, go right ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of measure it and see how much I'm going to need. I'm going to need some for the end here. And then I'm just going to measure this end. And then I'm going to double that. So whatever that is, that's about, oh, that's the wrong side, Julie. That's about 24 inches. So we're going to unwrap, oops, another 24 inches here. I'm doing it off camera. All right, and then I'm going to do one more loop so we have enough, okay? Then you're just going to cut that. And I'm going to set that to the side and have that for another project. That's what I like about getting stuff like this, is then you have it on hand. So I'm going to take, oh, let's just take our little, let's see if this won't cut it. I'm just going to kind of bring it around. Probably should have like tweezers or something, or pliers, but I don't. So I'm going to cut that off. So we cut that off. And so what I'm going to do is start threading my beads here. All right. So do whatever design you want. I'll come back and we'll start on the next step here. Okay. So this one, I think we have more than enough beads on it. So we're just going to get started here, and we are going to just kind of like bend that in a little bit more. Kind of see if I can get it to lay a little bit flatter. I try to get that bent. There we go. That's what I want. So I'm going to take my glue gun, and we're going to go very slowly in this. We're not going to be fast. This is going to take some time, so just be very patient, okay? So we're going to add a little bit of glue. And because it'll take some time for the glue to set up, I just don't want you to go too fast. So I'm going to add a little bit of a bead of glue here. Okay. And we're going to get it started, and I'm just going to set here. I'm going to let that set, okay? So let that set up. Okay, so we've gotten to the end here. You don't have to like glue it every spot, okay? Because of the type of wire that we use, it was really good to use that kind of bigger size wire. So I got down here and I just kind of measured it, and then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it, and then I bent it up. All right, so let's just go ahead and put a little bit of glue. Okay, so we got to the end, and of course I have a lot more beads than I need. So I'm gonna look here, and I think we're gonna end it on that peach bead. So again, we're just gonna undo this, and we're just gonna get rid of all these extra beads that we don't need. We're just gonna take our wire and we're gonna bend it over here after we cut it. And we're probably gonna need a little bit of space. So now I'm just gonna glue that all the way down, and then we will be right back. And that will be the base of our Valentine door hanger, or whatever you wanna call it. I think it's really pretty. All right, put a little bit there. I'm gonna add some in the middle here. And then I'm going to center it on let's see here. Let's see. I think that's really pretty. So you're going to want to hold that down. Let's see here. I think that's really pretty. I love the way this turned out. I feel like we just showcase this beautiful wood floral piece that Hobby Lobby has made and taken it to the next level. So there's a few things you can do. If you want to add a bow to this, you can. I'm not going to. I kind of like the way it looks, but this already has, oops, we got some glue on our mat, but that's okay. We can get that off. This already has a hanger on it. So you could either put some twine on it and then hang it from your door that way. And I might just add a little bit of twine back there, but I'm going to kind of hold it this way so no more glue gets on my mat. Okay, the last one is a miniature wreath ornament, whatever you want to call it. This is the perfect gift or perfect craft to do with your kids, your grandkids. So you're going to want to get these products because you're going to be able to make several of these. Again, I got these all 40% off, and these are a great deal. So you're going to take these little heart bead wreaths, and remember that everything that you see here will be linked down below. All right, you can buy it online, you can go to the store at Hobby Lobby, whatever you want. So we're just going to take one of these really pretty, I just think they're just, it's a Valentine really. And I'm going to use this, and we're going to take this little wreath here that we have. So this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to take one of these little felt Valentine hearts. It has white and pink in it as well. I'm going to use the red. I'm going to glue this down to that felt. So that's step one. So I'm going to glue this real quick, and then I'm going to come back with the second step. All right, we did that. And then you can do one of two things. They have these really cute little like Scrabble tile pieces, or that you can get this little tray. This was less than $2, guys, with the discount. So, and there's 54 pieces here. So you could make so many little projects. This would be great for a classroom project for the kids to take home if you're a teacher, to take home to their parents and to their grandma or grandpa. So let's see here. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think we have enough room for, like, we could put love. Let's see. We're going to do Be Mine. So you're just going to take it off here. Okay, I'm going to add a little glue here. Just put them any way that you want. It does have a little bit of stickiness, but I'm going to add a touch of glue just to be sure. But if you're working with kids, you might want to just let them use the sticky part. So B. See, and then I'm going to add, of course, this little heart. We have to add the little heart. And voila, you have a cute little ornament, the perfect kid project that they can take home to mom or dad or grandma or grandpa. It's the perfect little project. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Hobby Lobby, for bringing this content to my audience. I had so much fun making these 3 different crafts, whether you want something more romantic, something a little bit more, I don't know, kind of cottage, or you just want the traditional Valentine. We've got you covered this week. So make sure you go to the link in my descriptions where it has all of the products, all of the links that you need to go order online. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you say Happy Valentine's in the comments and let me know which is your favorite project and which one you're going to do next. Until next week, we'll see you in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.